Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a channel where I talk mostly about cross stitching. Um, a little bit of other stuff too I do, but lately I've just been just loving the cross stitching. So that is what I've spent all of my spare time doing. So that is what I'm talking about. I do shorter weekly stitchy updates, like once a week on Sundays. You get to hear what I've been stitching on for that week. But then every other month I also do like a summary or a review or just like a update on what I've been stitching on for 2 months. So if you don't like the weekly stitch update, you do get everything in these a little bit longer Flosstube videos. And I should have I should have done this in the beginning of this month for July and August, but then I got sick and it's been taking a while to just get back on my feet and to get my voice back, which mainly, yeah, while filming videos it's good to have a voice, right? So it's been, I'm late is what I'm trying to get at, but here we are. So I will do what I normally do, which is just show you what I've been stitching on in July and August. Now some of these, for instance these two focus pieces, I have of course been stitching on in September, so yeah, so these are a bit further ahead, but it is kind of the same anyways. So and I will also put this up on a Sunday instead of a short weekly update, because that just works better with the Stitch with Me's. And I have I'm working late some evenings and stuff this week, so I'll try to film this in the daytime and then publish it or upload it on Sunday. I think that will be better. So anyways, enough about that. Let's just get into the stitchy stuff. And the one that you see here is one of my focus pieces. It's just called Spring Flowers. And it is a focus piece because I do want to finish it this year. This is on my whip down list. And I've taken inspiration from Crafty Gaming Jamie. And she has a really great Flosstube. And she is also whipping down. And what she's doing I also now do. So I watched her video and when she was talking about this, and I thought that is a really good idea. So for every 2 finishes that I do, I get to start 1 more, because I mean, of course, one way to go about a whip down is just to finish stuff and not starting any new stuff, but but I didn't want to do that because starting new stuff is like part of the fun. So so I thought this was a good way to go about it. Finish 2, start 1. So that is what I'm doing, and that is why I have this as the focus piece. So the goal is to finish this year, because I have a couple of new starts that I really would like to get my hands on. Anyways, so Spring Flowers from Luca S. I'm just gonna check my notes real quick, because Luca S, they use anchor floss in their kits. And this is stitched on a 16 count Ada, and it's 2/1 square. There's a little bit, there's mostly full crosses. There's a little bit, just a little bit of back stitching. There's this bumblebee here. There's gonna be another bumblebee somewhere here with the back stitching, and there's just a little bit of back stitching like in the stems of these. I think it's forget-me-nots. And that's it. There's no backstitching here in the middle or anything, so it's actually a really, I would say, easy, fun, not too complicated project. I started this in July in 2023. And one of the reasons I want to whip down is I have not, because I have a little bit too many projects in my rotation. For a while there I didn't mind, which is why I started a lot of new projects last year. But I am finding it, I wouldn't say frustrating, but a little bit, well, yeah, because I don't get to pick some of these projects up as much as I would want to. So that is why I prefer a little bit smaller whip list. So this is a focus piece. So this one I actually most of the time just have on the Q-snap, so ready to go, so I can just grab it and put down some stitches. So as you can see, this was middle, so I have started to work my way in on the second half of this, and it is lovely, beautiful colors, and like I said, a fun stitch, just 4 crosses, a little bit of back stitching, but that's minimal back stitching, some blends, but again, not too many blends, just some blends. And yeah, I love it, and hopefully finish this year. That we'll see, but yeah, no, I think I will. I just need to be a little bit more structured, which will be easier now when the fall season is like in full swing or full speed ahead. So yeah, that will work itself out, I think. And the other focus piece I have is my first stitch along, which is the Hate Stitch Along, Hate Cell, Steampunk Portal. I started this 1st of January this year, of course, because that is when the sale started. I am also a little bit behind on this, but I actually don't mind. I am focusing on finishing the first 6 pages so that I can get my hands on the other charts that were in the sale that you could choose from. So that is the main goal, not to finish the whole thing. It would have been nice, but I don't think I will be able to do it because, yeah, also when I got sick, I didn't really stitch on it a lot. So like for 2 weeks, I didn't pick it up at all. But I'm good with that. So if I want to, because this is like 1 page, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can get like the 6th page. Yeah, I think I can get it done. I need to be a little bit more disciplined, but yeah, I'm having so much fun with it. I really like it. A lot of confetti, but also a lot of color blocks too. I'm stitching this on a 25 count even weave with a CXC floss, and I stitch 1/1 full cross. And like I said, I'm loving it. It's also the first time I'm trying these little ones. I was gifted these when I ordered stuff from Dream Stitch, and yeah, I don't know, I'm a little bit ambivalent about what I think about them. They're kind of good, so the threads don't get tangled, but I also sometimes feel like they're in the way a little bit, especially when you want to flip the fabric or the whole thing, if you have to do stuff on the back of the project, if you get knots and stuff. And then these are just, I don't know, but yeah, I'm getting used to them also. It's the first time, like I said, first time I'm trying this, so I might just get used to it because it is kind of handy. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm so happy with this one. I think it's turning out nice. I've seen pictures, of course, in the Facebook group of people who have done like this, completed the whole 3rd installment, And it looks, yeah, it's gorgeous. I really, really like it. It's so well charted, and yeah. So I'm just gonna work my way and hopefully finish what I'm supposed to finish. So let's move on, and I will just take out the next batch of whips. So let's move on to sweet pea. It's a project that I started because my grandmother's favorite flower was sweet peas. And so this is definitely a project that I am in no rush to finish. This is just like for sentimental reasons, and I do just like stitching on it a little bit now and then. It's a kit from Mareka, and Mareka uses DMC floss. This is stitched on a 16 count Ada 2/1 square. There are usually in Mareka kits there are some blends. I think there might be, yeah, there's a couple of blends here. Mostly full crosses. There are some tent stitching or half crosses down here, like the shadow of the flowers are tent stitch or half crosses. It is super, super nice, very sweet, light purples and pinks and greens. I started this in April last year, and as you can see, I haven't really, well, I have been picking it up, but I'm not in a hurry. I do a little bit at a time, and I think this is one of the projects that I sort of just want to savor and do some stitches here and there just to keep it going in remembrance of my grandmother. So yeah, this is a sweet pea sweet project for me, and yeah, I really like it. I'm probably gonna put a little bit of a pause on this one because we're moving into fall and winter, so I will let this rest and then pick it back up again next spring, summer. And speaking about fall, I can see that the next project is my autumn sampler. Also, this is from Mareka, and this is the one with two fabrics. I tend to start with the big fabric first, the big image, and hang on, sorry. So Mareka 16 count Ada DMC floss, 2/1 mostly. There are actually some half tent stitches in here, I think, or single. I all of these seasonal samplers from Mareka, I do 2/1 square, full crosses all across the board, even though the chart sometimes tell me otherwise. I just thought that I wanted that pop, at least on the main fabric. On the smaller images that you stitch on the other fabric and then fit the fabric onto the big one. Those images, because they are smaller and I do want to have more details, I'm probably gonna do 10 stitches on those if the chart says so. It's just on these bigger ones, the background, that I want them to be like impactful. Yeah. So that is why I chose to do that. I started this in September last year, and I really like these colors. I think they are nice, like the oranges. Yeah. So yeah, so this is my one of my autumn projects. I really like picking this up. So I'm gonna stitch on this a little bit more until winter comes. And let's just move straight on to Kitty Litter from Dimensions Gold Collection. I started this in January 2023, so it's been a while. And yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's super cute. I did reduce the number of threads in the background because I want like 5 threads, I think, which is crazy, even though it's 10 stitch or half cross, but 5 threads on an 18 count. That was not fun at all to stitch. I really did not like that. So I think I'm using 3 threads in the background for the half cross. And then there are some single 1 thread here, I guess, to give more details. Otherwise I use 2 over 1 square. And again, this is another one that I'm not in a rush, because there's a lot that goes on to this later, the Dimensions Gold. There are back stitching, there's couching, cording and couching, and I think French knots and stuff is, or well, actually I think it says here somewhere. Anyways, there's a lot of details on this, and I and if you have followed me, you know that I hate couching more than anything else. So I'm not looking forward to that. But other than that, I mean, the image is so cute. The kittens are really cute. The details and the charting, it's lovely. It's lovely. But I do find that on this, I mean, some charts you can just spend days and days stitching, and this is not one of them. After 1 or 2 evenings of stitching on this one, I don't know why I get tired. It's something about the chart, maybe, I don't know. But I have less stamina with this one for some reason, so that is why I'm here. After 2 years, I'm still not further along. I don't dislike it. I don't know, for some reason I lose concentration after like 1 or 2 days on this. But I'm still enjoying it while I'm stitching. You know, it's just, I just feel like, okay, enough already. And then I move on. But I'm definitely going to finish it. So, which one? Yeah, I can do the other. Yeah, because I have another Dimensions Gold. And that is Wreath of All Seasons, and this is lovely. I love this. Is not the same. This I actually could spend more than a couple of days, so it's not that it's Dimensions their charts, because this one is magical. So there's just something about the Kitty Litter that I lose concentration. This one though is so lovely. So Wreath of All Seasons, 18 count Ada. They have their own flaws, Dimensions Gold Collection, with their own color numbers, and it's lovely. It is like the DMC or Anchor in quality. I really love it. And as you can see, this was a potential focus piece, but I've said this before, I realize that it's going to take longer and I don't want to rush it. Also, there is so much back stitching on this. So once you're done with the wreath and the crosses, you're gonna have there's weeks of back stitching on this one. So I realized, no, this is just not gonna happen, because sometimes when it comes to the back stitching, I can't just do do it like a whole evening or something. So again, I want to take my time with it because I do enjoy it so much. I think it's lovely. I think it's turning out so nice. And it's interesting to me how they have combined so many different colors and still make it work. You know, all the greens, as you can see, colder greens, warmer greens, and everything just comes together. It is such a lovely chart. I started this one in October 2023, so it's taken a while, but like I said, since I don't have this as a focus piece, I just take it out to enjoy it. Then yeah, so this is winter, fall. No, this is winter, spring, summer, fall. Sorry. So this is fall. We're moving from summer into fall here. So that's a bit of crosses that I have left, and then just tackle all the back stitching. But that's a problem for future me. For maybe next year, who knows? Or maybe the year after that even. Yeah, I know that some people actually don't do the writing because some people don't like to stitch letters, and I can understand that, but I do like it. I actually like that as an extra touch. I also love the sage green, I think. And these are stitched 1/1 square, whereas the wreath and the, what do you call it, dragonflies are stitched double thread. Yeah. But yeah, no, I like the letters and the writing. And like I said, sage green is such a beautiful color. So yeah. So yeah, that's that. Let's bring out the next batch. So let's move on to my Riolis kits that I've been stitching on these past months. Let's do Carnation Lily Rose. What I like about the Riolis kits is that they are, I mean, they do have bigger ones, I think, but you can get a hold of these kind of smaller ones. They are not too complicated, and I do love their charts, their paper charts. I think they are super clear, easy to follow. And it's this is one of the projects that whenever I pick up a Riolis, I know that I'm going to finish it. I know that I'm not going to tire halfway through. It's really, I would say, like a fun, kind of relaxing thing, because I think that of all the Riolis kits that I've stitched on, which is hedgehogs, squirrels, cornflowers. Is there anything else? This one, that one, maybe another one too. It's like, yeah, no, there's it's easy to stitch because there's a good mix of color blocks and confetti. They are not too big. I don't know, just fun, easy stitching. This one is a little bit special because it does combine the two. There's hang on. Yes, anchor floss. There's anchor floss, and then there's their wool acrylic blend, which took a little bit of getting used to for me, but now that I am used to it, I think it's actually kind of nice. You get super nice coverage. And yeah, and the anchor floss, some of these are meant to be stitched with 3, I think, 3/1 square, but I'm stitching all of them with 2/1 square, and that is just fine by me. Because normally in the Riolis kits, what they do to get the details, there are pretty much, they have a little bit of back stitching, but it's not as extreme as it can be, like on the Dimensions Gold collection. The realist kits have some back stitching, but like I said, not too bad. But so what they do get the details on is that they are blending colors or blended threads. Like this is blue and green, and also there's a variation from with the wool acrylic. You have full crosses with double threads, then you have full crosses with just one thread. Same with 10 stitching or half crosses. You have ones with 2 threads and half crosses with just 1 thread. So they do get a little bit of dimension. Some parts are more sheer, some parts are more full coverage. So they do get in a lot of details, even though they don't have tons and tons of back stitching. So I like that with these ones. And this one I started in May last year. I haven't picked it up like a lot, I would say, but once you sit down with it, you do make a lot of progress. I also think that I'm getting a little bit more structured, because in the beginning I was jumping a lot back and forth, and that was just my brain trying to deal with the anchor and the wool acrylic and all of that. But I think I'm working my way into, I think you can see it, almost like a diagonal feel to it, which is the way I stitch mostly my full coverage hate pieces. But yeah, so either diagonal or maybe rows, we'll see. Paper patterns are different. I'm usually more row or columns when it comes to paper patterns, but yeah. Anyways, fun stitch. If you haven't tried realist kits, I do recommend it. You can get like small ones for not much money at all, actually. So I think they are affordable. Yeah, so I like them. And and the ones that I've been stitching on so far are the more modern kits. This one here, I've shown you this before. This is, I think, a more vintage or older ones where I'll show you. Once I start stitching on it, I have a lot of fun with it, but it is the whole floss situation that is driving me a little bit nuts. Because, and I think I showed you this before, but I will show you again, because they arrive like these, like this. And they're not sorted, so you have to sort them yourself, and you have to color match. So they send this with it, so you then go and color match, and then I numbered them and put them on these binder rings. And I think it was more usual. I think some of the old Dimensions Gold collection, right, you also color match yourself, question mark. I haven't seen those. I haven't stitched on any of those. I don't know, but I think I've heard of it, or I've seen it on YouTube maybe. But so what I ended up with was, first of all, just trying to have them like this. But I have now realized that I need to cut them like a normal skein of floss, just to make it easier, because they do get tangled, and when you try to unwind thread, yeah, it's a whole thing. So this is what has been holding me back, this whole situation, because the wool acrylic blend floss is fuller and thicker. I found it harder to put them on these little holes, so that is why I have the binder rings on here also. But now when I'm working my way into just cutting them and then trying to pull the threads like I do from a normal CXC or DMC or whatever, I think it might be easier because it's so fun to stitch on. There's a lot of color blocks up here in the sky, and here you can see an example of what I'm talking about the Reolist kits. Yeah, so these are, yeah, this here, I don't know if you can see this, but this is single threaded half cross or tent. These are double 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 threaded half crosses or tent stitch. This is double threaded full crosses, and there will be, I think, some single threaded full crosses further down. And I think what it does is it does give more than just a color variation. It gives a depth variation, which gives you, I don't know, just another feel when you look at it. So they're really good at that, at Reolist, to do that, to give you depth. Yeah. So the last time I picked this one up, when I had decided to dare to cut it, I had a lot of fun, actually. And it goes fast. I mean, all of these background, the sky and all of that, since it is half cross, it goes by so fast. It's going to be a little bit more confetti, of course, when you get down to the city or the buildings themselves. But yeah, I am hoping, hoping I will pick this one up more often now that I have made up my mind about the floss. And will hopefully make more progress. This is stitched on a 14 count. I hope I said that it was a 14 count. On the other one, Carnation, Lily Rose, and this one. Reolist normally, because they do use this floss, which is, like I said, a little bit thicker, fuller, fluffier, so they normally use 14 count Ada. Yeah, I started this one in August last year, and the interesting thing is I don't actually know the name exactly, but I think it's from Venice, and it might be St. Mark's Square. That's the closest translation that I can find. I found this kit on eBay. That's what it's called. Sorry, I had a moment. My brain gave up on me. And it comes with it came in this. So it is Reolist. This is an original Reolist kit. But I have looked, but I can't find the name. So anyways, but 1127 I'm guessing is a product name. So I don't know if you can get a hold of this anymore. I haven't looked for it. But yeah. If anybody knows the name of this, please leave it in the comments down below, because it would be nice to know if I got it right. But yeah, like I said, up here in the sky, mostly tent, double or single thread, and then more details down in the buildings will come later. So it will be interesting to see how it turns out. Yeah. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy I found a solution to the floss, so that I can get along just stitching away on it without being frustrated. So super fun. I'm looking forward to be stitching more on this one. In no particular order, but I have been stitching on these samplers a bit back and forth. I also am stitching on these in September, so these are going to show up more. Yeah, already seen them, I think, in Stitch With Me's and also in the next bigger Flosstube where I sum up. But yeah, these are 2 samplers from Lina Ova, and then I have my long dog sampler that I just show you in my shorter weekly update. But yeah, let's start with Dracula. There I have it up anyways already. I am in love with the Lina Ova. It's a store on Etsy. Their samplers are fantastic because they're not too big and they're not complicated at all, but a lot of fun details anyways. Again, I do tend to work a lot with the border first. As you can see, I am moving a little bit into the images in the middle here. Yeah, I really like it. This is stitched on an 18 count Ada. I'm stitching this 1/1 because I actually prefer it. It's not, I don't know if you can see, but it's not like super full coverage when you do 1/1 on 18 count, but I don't mind that look on a sampler. I actually like the feel and the look of it when the stitches are laying flat to the fabric, even though it gets a little bit sheer. But if this would have been a full coverage, then I would have chosen to stitch 2/1 square, because that is something completely different. But I have tried, and most of the samplers, not all of them, but most of the samplers, I do prefer the 1/1 on 18 count. And there's something with a feel to it also when you stitch, how the floss just lies neatly against the fabric. Anyway, sorry, nerd alert. I started this in November last year, and yeah, so much fun. I'm so glad I discovered samplers and that I dared to try, because it's a lot of fun. And like I said, and I say it again, Lina Ova, they have sales fairly often, so you can get a hold of their charts. I think the price is very reasonable. They have like fairy tales, like the Cinderella one I have there, Alice in Wonderland. They also have Jane Austen stuff, and yeah, so different kind of samplers. Check them out. Their store is really good. I'm stitching this with a hand-dyed floss from Dying for cross stitch. This is based in the US, I think, and they are no longer shipping to, at least they're not shipping to Sweden. And yeah, but if you're in the US, you can find them on Etsy. So just check for shipping before you order. But if you are living in the US or in any place that they do ship to, I can highly recommend. They have so many lovely colors. And if they're out of something, just email and they will make it for you. So yeah, very good customer service. It's a shame that they don't ship to Sweden anymore, but there you have it. And let's move on to Cinderella from Lina Ova. This was my first Lina Ova, I think. And this is my progress so far. I am working my way around, I think, and I know I will complete the border before I attack. There's one image here and there's 2 images here in the middle, so I'm doing it sort of one thing at a time. I'm also very much in love with this floss. This is hand-dyed floss from Moulin Designs on Etsy, It's a French store. They have also lots and lots of really, really nice colors. And I can respect that because they also, I think they, pause the store a little bit just to catch up, which I can respect because that means that they are always on top of all the orders and all of that. So yeah, but check them out when they're open because they have many nice colors. I actually have another, I think it's from there. No, maybe it's the other French store. Anyways, sorry. So this one I started in September last year. And I also stitched this 1/1 because I really like how the floss is lying on the fabric on the 18 count Ada. I think it's lovely, lovely, lovely. Again, highly recommend these charts. They're super nice. And the chart of all charts, the one that got me started with the samplers is of course Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. This is love, just pure love and admiration for the designer of this. It's amazing. And I did show this on my shorter weekly update, and I have not picked this one up again, but of course I will stitch on this more because it is absolutely gorgeous and so much fun to stitch on. I kind of can't get enough once I do pick it up. It is lovely. And I am starting the final part. This is the bottom part of the whole thing. So yeah, getting closer to the end. This is also stitched on an 18 count, but on this I do stitch 2/1 square. I'm using the silk floss from Mrs. Sada's, again Etsy. They have lovely silk flosses. The quality is so nice. It is a delight to stitch with. I got the super hanks, the bigger, big. And I have all this floss left. So that is just one of those big hanks for all of this. And I think I'm gonna have floss left. I did try to give away one of these hanks because I had 2. But yeah, I'm sorry, I think it got lost in the mail to the person I sent it to, which is tragic. Or maybe someone took it, I don't know. Someone is having a lot of fun with the silk floss, at least I hope. But like I said, because when I bought it at first I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, so I bought 2. And then when I started to stitch on it, and this is for some reason feels like this thread stretches more, and I don't mean stretchy it, but it lasts longer. You get a lot of stitches with this thread. So I realized fairly soon that I'm not going to be needing the 2 hanks, and that I probably would be left with some, even I'm just using one, I'm still gonna have some left over. But that's fine. So again, 1 super hank for the whole of Pandemic. And again, I'm hoping to finish this. If not this year, I don't think I will have the time because I have to focus a little bit on the steampunk portal, the sale. But definitely during next week. No, not next week, next year, of course. I mean, because next week that would be crazy. Yeah, I wish, huh? Yeah, and I changed the initials here to my initials, but I am going to keep the 2020 just because 2020, that was the year that we all know. So yeah, no, I'm not going to change that. I want the pandemic to have 2020 on it. It just goes to show. Yeah. So yeah, I'm slightly obsessed with this because it's such a nice chart. Yeah, put it away and move on to there are just a few left. So there was actually just 2 more kits that I've been stitching on. Let's do this one first. This is Cafe in Verona. It's a kit from Mareka, so they use DMC. It is stitched on a 16 count Aida 2/1 square, some blends, and this is my progress. Again, I really like the Mareka kits. I have a lot of Marekas, which will be which is clear already, but it will be more clear when I do the whip parade. Then you will see all the Marekas that I have going. This is one of I think I did buy some more like city scenes. They're not all Mareka. I think that it's one dimensions maybe. Yeah, anyways, I'm obviously going to finish this one before I even get to start another. Yeah, anyways, hang on. I started this in May last year, and this is a fun thing. Again, I'm not spending like 2 or 3 days on it. I do pick it out. I spend like maybe one night or evening or one afternoon on it, and then I'm pretty happy to put it aside. And it's not because it's boring, it's just, this is just the way I feel about it. And I think it's because of the different elements of it that you do have with these city scenes. We have the front of the, it's a bodega or cafe or whatever, and the buildings behind, and there's a little bit of flowers, and yeah, so I do feel like I do stitch like one thing at a time, like the confetti on the window and the flowers are more confetti, and then I'm going to stitch to the wall, and I'm also working my way down here. So yeah, it's a fun thing, it's a fun project. And again, I like the Mareka kits, I really do. I like the charts, I like the thread. Of course, DMC is lovely to work with. And I find a lot of images or artwork or pictures or photos or whatever. A lot of them appeal to me by Mareka. So, yeah, because I do seem to have a talent to pick the ones that have a lot of details in it, and I think that I am drawn to that. I like that, have a lot of different things in it. So yeah, again, not in a hurry to finish. I will probably not be stitching a lot of this more this year, and I probably will wait until spring next year to pick this one back up again. But you never know. I might want to bring it out anyways, but yeah, we'll see how I do with my whip down. Let's yeah, oops. And then the last one for today is the Blue Flowers Girl from Lanarte. This is a lovely piece. And the only reason why I'm not have been picking this one up is I've been talking about this before. It's a chart. I do find this chart a little bit more challenging for me to read. I've done some alterations. Well, alterations. I have filled out the grid line and stuff like that, but so it's much better, which is why it felt good to just pick it up and start moving over here. But that's the only reason why I haven't been picking this one up a lot, and that is just the chart. Other than that, it is lovely artwork. It's a lovely thread. The linen, yeah, this is all the called for. Everything of this came in the kit. I might have chosen another linen, but here we are. I don't hate it, but it's not super nice to work with. But anyways, it does the job. It's a 30 count linen, and I do stitches 2/2 on this one. And as you can see, it's gridded 5x5 instead of 10x10, and that is because the chart is gridded 5x5, which is one of the things that I don't like about it, actually. And I thought that at first I would just do 10x10 anyways, but then I confused myself a lot. So I actually down here, I went, because I started down here, I think I actually had to go back and regrid and fill in the 5x5 because I made so many mistakes down here. So I had to frog a lot of times. So I thought, let's just do 5x5. I can follow the chart. I don't have to count. I just or interpret. So yeah, and that made it easier too. So when did I start? Oh, I started this in October in 2022. So as you can see, I've had this going for like 3 years, and yeah, I think if it weren't for the chart, I would have made more progress on it. But I do love the colors. I love blue. And yeah, maybe if it shows up on camera, I don't know. But yeah, so 2/2 full crosses. But then there are some tent or half crosses here, single thread. And there are some tent stitches with double thread too, somewhere. So again, this is also a way to give it more detail and a little bit more depth. So I do like that. I appreciate that a lot. But I am looking forward to stitching more on this, because this will definitely be picked up more often now as we move into winter. And I don't know, I get a autumn or fall feeling with this one. So yeah, we'll definitely be stitching on this one more, and then I just need to grid the rest of the fabric, and hopefully finish. This is not ever gonna go on the whip down list because of the chart, and because I obviously need to take my time with this one. So who knows, but I am enjoying it now. All in place, the chart works well for me. Grid 5x5, just like the chart says. For my brain, that works fine. And yeah, that is it. Yeah, okay. So this is what I've been stitching on in July and August. And yeah, because I did, oh yeah, that's true, I did spend a lot of time on the steampunk portal, and a little bit of time on the spring flowers too. So when you have focus pieces like that, maybe especially the stitch along, I do tend to spend more time on that one, I feel, which is not bad. It's a lot of fun. So like I said, I will put this up on Sunday, so there will be no weekly stitchy update this week. But I think that, like I said in the beginning, I think that works best with all the stitch with me's and with the time that I have to film and then to upload and all of that. But then I will continue just doing the Stitch with Me Tuesdays and Fridays, and then Stitchy updates on Sundays, and other stuff too, if there is other stuff too. Wow, yeah, okay, so we got through that all right. And my voice is actually still holding up pretty well. I'm super happy about that. Thank you for sticking around and watching to the end. I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, I hope I see you in the next video. And with all of the things going on in the world, please take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next Stitch with Me, maybe. Bye for now.